Hi, last video, I promise. Okay, whether you used the last video to differentiate the equation or you had it memorized, given the notes I gave you in class, you now know that P of t is 10 over 1 plus a e to the negative 1/5t, this equation right here. Sorry, it's a little glary. Can you kind of see that? Whatever, it says P of t. And now let's answer the questions. So it tells you that, it gives you the initial condition P of 0 equals 3. So let's use that to figure out what our missing piece, A. So P of 0, 0 is t. So e to the 0, if you plug in 0, e to the 0 power is just 1. So that basically goes away. So that's with 10 over 1 plus a. And we know this whole thing equals 3. So let's just solve for a real quick by timesing by 1 plus a. And so then I got 10 equals, let's distribute this in. I'm going to minus 3 from both sides and then divide by 3. So you get that a is 7/3 or 2.33 repeating. So that's what a is, and now you take that a and you can plug it into your formula. It's 10 over 1 plus that a, e to the negative 1/5t. And the problem's asking what happens when the limit, what is the limit as t approaches infinity? So pretend that this t right here is infinity. Negative 1/5 times infinity is negative infinity. So if you remember the graph of e, it looks something like this. If you approach negative infinity, which is this left side, you can see the graph, it's approaching 0. So e to the negative infinity is 0. So this whole thing basically disappears. And you're left with 10 divided by 1. 10 divided by 1 is just 10. So that's why the answer to A is 10. You got to do a little work and then just plug in, calculate the limit. B is the same thing except for it gives you a different initial condition. It tells you that P of 0 equals 20. So now it's the exact same thing that we just did except for set it equal to 20. So 10 over 1 plus a equals 20 now. Hang on. Oh yeah, that's true because it's still P of 0. So solve for this, times by 1 minus a, so you get 10 equals 20 plus 20a, minus 20, negative 10 divided by 20. So this time you get negative 1/2. Right? So plug that in. Same thing. Take the limit as t approaches infinity. The same thing will happen. As this goes to infinity, it'll be negative infinity, so it'll cancel out, and then you'll still just have this 10 divided by 1. So it's interesting that the a ends up not mattering at all. The answer is still 10 for a and b, regardless of what your initial condition is. As we approach negative infinity, or as we approach infinity, no matter what, our population maxes out at 10. That's why 10 is our maximum number, kind of what you can tell from the equation. Cool, so we're just reinforcing that. And then finally, C, it gives you another separable differential equation and asks you to find y of t if y of 0 equals 3. Cool, that's a good question. So I'm actually not going to do this final one for you. C will be the last question I want you to do on your own. You're going to separate it kind of like I did in the last video. But this one's easier because it has a t in front. Yes? So maybe I'll get you started. And then see if you can solve this. Practice it, study it, and then I can answer any questions for like the first few minutes of class on Thursday right before the test. But this one says dy dt is y over 5 times 1 minus t over 10. Awesome. So I hope you look at that and the first thing you think is to fix it algebraically. I did this on the last video. You don't want a t over 10 that makes it messy looking. So to fix it, you got to get rid of the 10. Do you know what to do? If you do, pause this video and do it on your own and finish it out. If you forgot, I'm going to remind you that you multiply by 10 on the inside. If you do that, that disappears. But if you multiply by 10 on the inside, you got to divide by 10 on the outside to even it out. So you still have dy dt. And then this time it's y over 50 because I times by 10 in the denominator. And then on the inside I got 10 minus t. So this one looks really pretty and it looks almost exactly the same as the other one, but what? Do you notice that this is a t, not a y? That's what was different in our last equation. So in this one, you just want to get the y. This is the only y you have to get over to this side. So I'm going to divide by y, so this is dy over y. And then I'm going to multiply by this 10 minus t dt on this side. So this is hopefully an easier equation for you now to integrate. You don't have to do any tricky separating. But go ahead and solve for that. Make sure you add your plus c, add your initial condition, and see if you can find y of t. The answer's on here. So set that up. Good luck. That was so many minutes of videos. I so apologize. But there's your studying. So that's good. Just go through and finish these. Make sure you still do the little book work. Now that we've gone over all this stuff, you should just breeze through these few problems that I have written at the top of this to review. And then you should ace your test. So good luck. I'll be here at school Wednesday. Wednesday's an even day, but I'll be here before school and after school on Wednesday if you want to ask me any questions before the test. Yeah, good luck.